go. Yep. There's a... Heyo, I'm Jimmy. This is my garden. Thanks for joining me today. Got rained out at work, so I'm home a little early. And now it's nice and the sun shines out. Smell all the flowers, a little extra fragrant in the garden right now. Love the smell of the anise. It's like licorice. So I've been wanting to have this talk. It's an idea. Now that I'm a contractor and I'm doing construction and I'm building things, I'm really realizing how it's so much easier to destroy something than to create something. Like, my favorite example is, think of a glass, you know, like a glass that you drink out of, and how if a human, you've probably seen somebody blow glass and build a vase or something, but how it takes so much. You gotta heat up this furnace, you gotta stick this hot rod in there with the glass on it. I think it's like sand and a silica mixture or whatever, and you get it red hot, and they gotta blow into it to create the shape, and they gotta roll it just right, you know. It takes so much effort to create a glass. And then just think how easy it is to destroy that glass. You just take it, drop it on the ground, and shatters, right? Instantly destroyed. Something that took somebody hours to create. And it makes me, when you take that idea all the way, you can kind of see how people are taking the easy route in this age and joining with the people destroying peace and destroying the harmony built into this place and built into us. And it's just so easy for them to keep destroying things and to scare people and to fear them into control. I'll give a bunch of examples of these destroyers. When you think about school and what a teacher is doing to a child, they're destroying that child's ability to learn things on their own, to discover things. They're forcing lies into these children and destroying their creative powers. I worked out of school for a couple of years. I witnessed it firsthand. You could see it. The kids don't want to be there. And then but it's all training the kids to sit there, go to their slave job when they're older and think it's normal, just because they've been conditioned. Like Pavlov's dog, right? You ring a bell and the dog salivates for the food. That's what school is. Slave training, robot training, put a machine in the mind, right? Rip out the creative part of the mind and fill the other side with computations and formulas and A, B, C, D. That's what you do in school. Destroy your ability to create. I think of attorneys and lawyers and judges, right? Judging people. And how justice is blind in this age. The criminals are in charge. They're worshipped and they're waited on hand and foot. The more they destroy the connection humans have with each other, the more they're praised by their party, by their cult. It's like that statue, you know, Justice is Blind. They have that statue of the lady blindfolded with the scales. Justice is blind right now. It does not exist. This is the most unjust situation you could imagine. it makes me think of Gaza and children just being bombed, and they're called terrorists on the television. It's like, that's not justice. That's the opposite. That's horrifying stuff. And I say Gaza, and then it makes me think of Trump, and I'm getting all these stupid texts on my phone and non-stop phone calls about his big, beautiful bill, and how it's like the big, beautiful bill by Trump, just like Build Back Better by Biden, the 666, BBB, 666. And these people just destroyers. They destroy your peace. They bother you on your freaking phone all the time. They bother you. They bother everybody with their destructive powers. And just how it's so much easier for them to keep dividing humanity and destroying connections that people used to have with each other. If you're in America, this is July 3rd. Tomorrow's the 4th, right? A big celebration. I call it the 4th of Fool's Lie, because it's a big lie. Only a fool would believe. You think you're free. You're an absolute fool. You could be free inside yourself, inside your mind. But on the outside, there are people that claim to own you like chattel, like property. You're a citizen, right? You have a bank account where your energy is stored. You're not free. It's like they celebrate freedom by blowing up a bunch of crap in the sky. It's like, of course that's how they would do it. So stupid. And then I think of, it's sort of a rumor, it's sort of a, definitely, if you look into the past, you'll kind of see how all history is basically fake. It's made up, and none of it really adds up. And supposedly the 4th of July is when they reset the realm, and they like wiped away and killed everybody and took over. And so they get people to celebrate the destruction of everything on that date. And if you want to go down that rabbit hole of alternate history, just look into the world fairs. I've been looking at the world fairs for a couple years now. And it's just undeniable. There was something special there. Crystal palaces, beautiful fountains, beautiful architecture, golden statues everywhere, and it just looked like something that you don't see today, something that's not created today. What do they say? We have a brutalist architecture when you go into a city. It's very brutal and rigid and square. But you look into the world fairs, everything was round and beautiful, and just it looked like people took a lot of time to create all those buildings. And it didn't take a lot for them to destroy them and wipe away the whole history of it. But the pictures are there. I bought a stereoscope a while back, and I've been looking at the 3D pictures of the world fairs. And it just does not add up. The horse and buggy people next to these giant buildings that we can't build today. A lot of them are federal buildings that were founded. They say founded because they don't have the blueprints and they don't know who made it. But how I see it as, think about how hard it would be right now to unite humanity and to create a free energy for everybody, instead of the way that it is, these people constantly destroying things. and in killing people that try to, you try to create a free energy device, you're dead. They kill them by the, and you try to make the hydrogen powered cars, you put water in your car to power it. They kill those people. So it's like they're assassinating people that are making free energy devices. And at the same time, they have countries and borders and bombs dropping to keep dividing people. And it's just so easy for them to keep destroying things than for humanity to come together and create a new world, right? The old world order was free energy, peace, harmony. We had airships in the sky that flew by silently. Didn't make all these stupid sounds that you hear when you, all the loud, obnoxious jets and airplanes of today that destroy the peace below, right? We respected each other in the old world. We're living in the new world order. We're living in 1984. It's just, you gotta love like the red pill crowd and the deep, they have a deep state and they're making a new world. You're in it. They've got you so manipulated and lost and disconnected from nature. I feel like that's the only reason I know these things and I see through all their crap is because I get connected to the real things in life, the real stuff. I create life and I cherish it. I'm not destroying it and manipulating it for some greedy purpose. It's far easier to destroy than to create. Now that I'm doing construction and I've been working on this guy's deck for over a month, ripped the whole thing apart. It's a really big deck. It's got a huge bench system, and I've done like a custom wood holder where he can store his firewood. And I mean, it's taken me a lot longer than I expected. And on top of it, like when you buy wood in America, like it's cockeyed and crooked, and it's like you get everything perfect, you do all your measurements, you get things in place, and the board is just cockeyed, and you gotta crank it, fix it into place. It is tough. It's why I've avoided construction for so long. I didn't know it was this tough till I'm really in it. But all these things that are hard about it, I'm able to handle. And it's helping me grow and really realize that, man, it's so much harder to create things than to destroy things. And you can just see how a lot of people are involved in destroying things right now, destroying peace, destroying bonds between people. And it's very profitable, and the more you can divide people against each other, the more you can use them and manipulate them. And it's so hard to unite people that have been brainwashed. If you haven't realized it, if you haven't realized how these cult members take their position in life and that's it. It's a very stupid, destructive way of life, but that's how they live. And I can't judge them. I'm just observing it, and I'm taking my choices and going the other way. I really think resistance is futile. What's going on with mankind and what's going on around the world with all these wars and divisions, it's so unnatural. It's just so against nature. It's such an abomination that it's a destructive force that does not last. The plants this place, the water always flowing. It lasts anything. It will outlast all these destroyers, let me tell you. Pretty obvious. But it's just, I love how I see these computer nerds. Resistance is futile. The AI is going to take over. We all need to worship the AI and get into the computer. It's like they're so backwards. Resisting nature is futile. Resisting the natural way is pathetic and stupid and futile. And it's going to go on and on and on and on and on until it's finally destroyed and peace is restored. It's the way I see it. Because I see it every day. I see pollution and chemicals and bombs dropped and what? If you look at Nagasaki, Hiroshima, there's people living there, everything's fine. You look at Chernobyl, where they had supposedly had that radioactive accident, there's animals and giant plants and resistance is futile. When you're resisting nature and the way of creation. You can only destroy so many things, okay? Let me tell you. People destroy themselves on the inside. It's really what it seems like the programming from the outside is doing. The computers, the podcasters, the politicians, the television. They're just trying to get inside people and destroy their peace and harmony. That if they didn't have all the brainwashing as a child, didn't have all these stupid screens to manipulate them, they'd be walking around in peace and quiet, enjoying things like we used to. Maybe natural wise leaders would come about and they would never use force. They would never take sides. They would only help guide people in wise decisions. They would never use people like you see the misleaders of today using the sheep, slaughtering the sheep for their own benefit. But this is a place where it seems like anything can happen, so this all had to happen. It all had to be destroyed and divided and just to be united again. It's kind of my thought. But just wanted to, had this idea I want to talk about. I think it's pretty obvious and encourage you to not be a destroyer, but become a creator. Take the hard route in life. Try to create unity between people. Try to uncover truth that nobody's talking about, that nobody sees. They've blindfolded themselves, destroyed their intuition, destroyed their creative powers. It's the only way fear works. Constant destruction and people being afraid and fearful. But if you don't have fear and you're full of love and creativity, it's just, I don't know, it's all I got. I get frustrated, I can get mad, but I circle back and I just realize that's the outside trying to get into my inner peaceful world, screw things up. Like I was at the supermarket before I got home, and it's just a madhouse because I'm in New Hampshire and it's very nice in the summertime, and all the massholes from Massachusetts and the New Yorkers, and they all bustle up here on the holidays and busy up the place. And just a madhouse. It was like ants on a piece of rotten wood just all over the place, just grabbing everything off the shelf. Everybody's just bumping into each other. It was just nuts. I didn't really want to stop, but I had to grab a hot chickie hot chicken on the way home for the weekend. I didn't even touch on money. I mean, money is like the biggest destructive force. People are paid to destroy things. They're paying military guys to drop bombs and kill people. Money is one of the most destructive forces here, next to all the lies. But I'll have more talks, more rambling about these things. I think you get what I'm saying. Try to create things, don't destroy stuff because it's easy and you can make money by doing it, right? It's just blah, lame. One last thing. I think there's a spider like right in the camera hanging out. But I listened to this girl on YouTube, and she says some very wise talks, and the last talk was about there's really no such thing as a spiritual community, because when you create a community, you separate yourself from everybody else. You decide that we're in this group, we're in this cult together, and how we really just need to unite outside of identities, outside of the ego, and just realize what we really are. And not put all these labels and fake identities on each other, and to judge other people and say they're this because they're in that area, right? It's like people are judged because of where they're born. And they're called a bunch of stuff, and it's like you've never even met them, okay? It's stupid, it's destructive to just sit in your one country, in your one little community and say, this is it, we're so great, where did it? No, we need to all unite in this world, or it sucks like it does right now. You gotta stop being a cult member, stop joining cults. But it's just her talk, I'll put it below, was just like, yep, it's kind of all the stuff I talk about. Like, stop joining groups, because there's only one group. Humanity. We're together. Stop grouping up and attacking each other psychically with ideas, because that's how the destroyers become the leaders, and they get to oversee the destruction of everything. And I don't think people really understand that's what's going on, is they've joined with the destruction, the pollution, the corruption. It's so easy to go jump in the mud pit with the pigs and get all dirty, instead of staying pure and clean and trying to rinse off and stay clean. You know, it's just big pig pen out there. I've rambled on long enough. Love you guys. Enjoy.